I'm a magic man with magic hands. Hello there, everyone. Welcome back down here to the Gamer's Den with me, your host, Jordan, your master of lore and storyteller extraordinaire. Going on with our look at the first edition Pathfinder Arcanist guide, today we are going to start delving into what makes them the class they are, and that is their magic. Of course, the arcane exploits, you might argue, have a pretty big hand in that, but we're setting that aside. This is a full spellcasting class. This is the bread and butter, and really what a lot of the arcane exploits are built around. This is where you are going to be making or breaking so much of the game for yourself and for the rest of the party, and hell, let's face it, the DM as well. And setting aside the petty card tricks that we're working on, we are going to talk about some magic that is going to be phenomenal for you and your allies. But before we get into all of that, if you're new here to the channel, go on down there, hit the subscribe button, and become a regular member here at the Gamer's Den. Or if you've already gone on ahead and listed yourself on that incredible roster of legendary heroes, then go on down to hit the like button and share the video far and wide. But now, let's go ahead and start diving right on into this. We're starting off with 0 level spells. These are your cantrips. These are going to be things that, quite honestly, are still going to be useful by and large throughout most of your adventuring career, although they might be something that kind of eventually falls more into the wayside, kind of the background thing. Things your DM is going to assume that you're just using by default in some instances. So, starting us off with exactly that, we have detect and read magic. These are going to be useful throughout the entirety of your career, but as I said, as you advance in level, when some of your higher level spell slots are more of a regular thing, it's going to be assumed that you're using read magic pretty frequently. These allow you to detect magic auras on items, creatures, and areas, as well as read magic scrolls or books. These are spells that you're going to be making use of pretty damn regularly. Then we have Guidance. Touch a target creature to grant a +1 competence bonus to a single attack roll, saving throw, or skill check. This is going to be incredibly beneficial at early levels, and really, even at mid to high levels, sure, it's not going to do a whole heck of a lot at that point. I mean, a +1 isn't the most incredible bonus ever, and you're certainly going to be dispensing better bonuses and benefits later on, but in a pinch, this could be just the thing that tips the scales towards your party's favor. Same thing with resistance, although this tends to fall off as you advance quite a bit. This grants a +1 resistance bonus on saves for 1 minute, can be made permanent via permanency. However, just bear in mind that a very common item, Cloaks of Resistance, provide resistance bonuses to your saves, and the two do not stack together. The superior bonus is going to take the place of whatever the inferior bonus is, so while this can be made permanent, and that is great to have, you can apply this to so many different things, particularly valued NPCs, party pets, any pack animals that you have, assuming you're not just summoning them or have other incredible things at work. This can still be something handy that will be made use of, just maybe not going to be super important for the party members as you advance in level. Then we also have Mage Hand, which is essentially a telekinesis with a weight limit of 5 pounds, but still very handy. And then Acid Splash, it has a range of 25 feet plus 5 feet every 2 caster levels. It's a range acid orb that deals 1d3 points of acid damage. So this will have some utility for melting through things. This is a great backup. This is also going to be great early levels, again, when you don't have a whole lot of spells, but its damage is going to be quickly outpaced. But again, this will still just have nice, quiet little bits of utility because this can melt through steel bars, through stone, things like that. And it's something that you can kind of use over and over without creating a whole lot of noise or a whole lot of extra disturbance generally. But, you know, it's nice to have in your back pocket. Then we go on to where we're starting to get into the real meat and potatoes kind of magic. We're at first level spells. And first up is Mage Armor. Gives a +4 armor bonus lasting 1 hour per caster level. That's incredible duration. And don't forget, especially when it comes to buffing spells, that you're able to use your Arcane Reservoir, spend a point to increase the caster level. So sure, you're first level now, but you use that to boost this. You now have 3 hours worth of +4 armor bonus going for yourself. That's going to last you through multiple combats. That's going to help make you harder to hit. Definitely a valuable thing, especially first, second level, when maybe you're running out of magic and you're now falling back to, say, using a crossbow to engage with fights, because you're sure as hell not going to be getting up close and into the thick of the melee. No, you're going to keep at a range, and having a little bit of extra armor to keep yourself from getting immediately quashed is going to be incredibly useful for you. Much like Summon Monster 1. It gets a little bit of hate online through different guides and stuff, but really I think the Summon Monster spells, even the ones that are not summoning creatures that are on par with their previous iterations, because this goes all the way up to Summon Monster 9. These are spells that are great because you're putting out extra help for your team, you're putting bodies in flanking positions, you're providing +2 attack bonuses if you're working with a rogue, vigilante, anybody that has precision damage dice that's going to require flanking or taking their opponents by surprise. They are going to get a damage boost from you positioning the summoned creature properly. So that alone makes this a very useful spell. Also, any attacks that go towards the summoned creature are attacks that are not going at you or your allies. So those are effectively, well, to call them wasted attacks isn't entirely accurate, but it's attacks not going at the flesh and blood party members that are at risk of dying. So Summon Monster 1, 25 feet plus 5 feet every 2 caster levels kind of range is what you're going to have. Summon 1 creature that stays for 1 round per caster level. The Eagle or Pony will be your best options. Both have Smite, Evil, or Good options depending on if you're summoning celestial or fiendish variants of them. And that the Eagle is just going to have a lot of accessibility. It's going to be able to fly and maneuver around the battlefield and really easily get into flanking positions and move from place to place. It can scout a little bit for you. The Pony is going to be a bit more of the tanky creature that you summon out and intersperse within the midst of combat. Then we have Enlarged Person. Enlarge 1 humanoid creature to the next size category. This gives a +2 bonus to Strength, a -2 penalty to Dex, and a -1 size penalty to AC. Those aren't super detrimental, especially if you're throwing them on a fighter, paladin, barbarian, whoever the up-close and personal melee character with high strength is. They will then occupy a 10-foot space and have a 10-foot reach and will last 1 minute per caster level. Again, another one that's great for you to upcast using your Arcane Reservoir points. This will get them through a fairly lengthy combat, possibly 2 combats if they're back to back. But absolutely crucially beneficial for dishing out damage and having a degree of battlefield control. Then we have Color Spray. This is a 15-foot cone effect area, has a number of effects that depends on a little bit of what you get. Will saving throws negate. 2 hit dice or less will render the target unconscious, blinded, and stunned for 2d4 rounds. Then blinded and stunned for 1d4 rounds. Then stunned for 1 round. At 3 to 4 hit dice, the target will be blinded and stunned for 1d4 rounds, then stunned for 1 round. And if they're 5 hit dice, they are stunned for 1 round. So this will actually go for quite a ways for you, because even just getting a stunning effect is nice. And this will affect a whole swathe of opponents. Sure, higher levels, this is going to drop off, but this will see you through at least till you get access to 3rd level magics. At least then. But it still is going to have a degree of use, because even when you get access to 3rd level, even 4th level spells, you're not going to want to burn those spell slots on the first mooks you meet. No, you're going to use things like Color Spray and Enlarged Person to really dominate the battlefield. So this will actually stay on and be useful for quite a while, although maybe not for big boss encounters after that point. Then we also have Magic Missile. It's a classic, everybody uses it, and you should too. Target up to 5 creatures within 100 feet plus 10 feet every caster level with a force missile that deals 1d4 plus 1 force damage. This missile always hits the designated target or targets that are short of total concealment or cover. So, unless you cannot see them or they're completely within cover, you're going to hit them. The damage isn't anything really to write home about, although hitting one target with all 5 missiles dealing 1d4 plus 1 damage, and the fact that it's force damage, means that it's not something that's really going to be easily negated by any resistances and things like that. So you'll deal full damage, you'll hit the target. It's not going to be the most explosive amount of damage ever, but still, it's damage and it's a reliable hit. And sometimes you just need that one reliable hit to just kind of push the target right over the edge and into death where you need them to be. Then we have Grease. Grease is great for area control, controlling the battlefield. This creates a layer of grease over a 10-foot square within 25 feet plus 5 feet every 2 caster levels. Reflex saves to avoid falling. Moving at half speed allows for acrobatics checks through the affected area. Failing requires a save, while failing by 5 is an auto fall, so they're automatically going to fall. So as far as battlefield control goes, this is going to be really handy, and this is one of those spells that may still be handy even at mid-levels, because say, it doesn't have to necessarily be a 10-foot area. Maybe you're in a rickety on a rickety platform of some sort, or the party is engaging targets that are on a narrow space, some kind of ledge or rafters, beams going across a construction site. You can throw down a layer of grease and make the fight a whole lot more interesting for your opponents. Lock them off, keep them from coming to you, or keep them from getting away from you so easily. And going through this will really risk a whole lot of damage. It's just going to depend on where exactly you're at and how you apply this. But with a little bit of imagination and creativity, the utility of the spell will keep this in a pretty good place for you and your party for many, many levels to come. Unlike spells like Stunning Barrier. This is one I used as an example for the Macho Mage, but it still goes by here. Actually, these spells will probably come up for just about any kind of arcane spellcaster, but still, Stunning Barrier. Target self, and for 1 round per caster level, you get a +1 deflection bonus to AC, a +1 resistance bonus to saves, and a creature that strikes you in melee is stunned for 1 round, although will saves negate, ending the spell. So it doesn't last super long, 1 round per caster level. A +1 deflection bonus is nice, but that's going to quickly fall off. Same with the resistance bonuses, especially since you have a 0 level spell that duplicates that. And a creature that strikes you in melee is stunned, and while stunning is great, it lasts for only 1 round, and they still get a save to negate it. And then the spell is just gone. If the spell remained afterwards and just lasted until the duration was out, this would actually be a pretty solid choice, but the fact that it's just gone afterwards makes this drop off pretty fast. I mean, I can't imagine wanting to pick this up and actually making use of it unless it just fits what you're doing with your character, because it's a cool idea. I think it's a great idea. It just would be nice if it lasted longer, or if it could scale up a little bit, like as if when you advance in level, like say every 4 levels the deflection bonus goes up by 1 and the resistance bonus goes up by 1. It still wouldn't make it like a great use it forever kind of spell, but it would at least give it some lasting value and make it a little bit more worthwhile, and also get rid of the spell being negated after you're struck in melee, because that's the other thing. It requires you to actually be hit, something you are actively trying to avoid having happen to you. And sure, stunning them in retaliation for that is nice, but if an opponent's actually engaging you in melee, something has gone horribly wrong, and you should probably get away as quickly as possible. But What do you think? Go on down to the comments below and let me know your thoughts. Did you like today's video? Did you dislike it? Yes, these are a little bit of a standby that are great for any kind of spellcaster, but maybe the Arcanist is your first look at this channel and any of the guides that I've done. I'll try to go over more interesting spells, more varied and diverse things as we go along, but certainly still go down to the comments below and let me know your thoughts, because there's plenty of other spells out there that are going to be great, good, or great in certain situations that are going to be worth talking about, because there are some spells that are just generally terrible, but in certain circumstances they go great. Like anything that allows for water breathing, as an example. Probably not going to be applicable in most campaigns, only situationally useful. Unless you're on a seagoing adventure, then in that case, that spell is going to be insanely valuable if you get tossed overboard or if an ally does, but it all is just going to depend a little bit. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and if you've made it this far, you must have enjoyed something. So why not go down there, hit the subscribe button, and become a regular member here at the Gamers Den. Join us here at the Nexus Librum, right here at the Gamers Den. But with all that said, thank you all so very much for your time. Good gaming to you all, and you all have yourselves a good night.